Here we are, Friday afternoon. Already the 20th of June. Okay, so a righteous woman who's being destroyed by persecution and gang stalking has to give witness and provide an update on what's going on now. So welcome if you're new. Welcome to the House of Mourning. You're listening to a woman who speaks the truth because she knows the truth. So it's important that we pull back this veil, because corruption, well, as it's written, there will be an increase of knowledge at the end of the age. It will be the days of Noah at the end of the age, where these brainless beasts, these mindless monsters their thoughts are just continuously to do evil and to be evil. And so one of our people mentioned when he was here, you're going to be hated. You're going to be hated by the world. They're going to come at you constantly, and the goal is to take your life from you. And so as a woman experiencing that, and has now for decades, it's important to give voice to what's going on. So yesterday morning, we had a dog return to its own vomit. Yesterday morning at 7:30, there was a violent assault, torture, common nuisance, uttering threats, criminal harassment by this thing right here, who has been violently assaulting this woman since last August. This thing is obsessed. Yeah, so last Thursday, when this thing kidnapped, unlawfully confined, tortured, lied about the woman that you're listening to, it verbalized, this is exactly what it said: I am the law. See, what's unfortunate about this fucking weasel is that it's wired to lie. So this pathological lying fucking lunatic is lawless, and yet it identifies itself as being I am the law. Yeah. So on the 12th of June, we've got the third SWAT team assault in 10 months. Despite the fact since June the 4th, I have been providing lawful reasons why there's no way we can take part in this, because what's happening is these are vagrants, right? Do you understand what vagrancy is? Now, the vagrants repealed that section, and I should have grabbed it for you so I could read it to you. That there used to be an offense known as vagrancy, and what it is it's persons who don't actually have a legitimate profession, and they generate revenue by gaming. And so that's exactly what these BARF members are doing. That's the definition of their career, is vagrancy. So that's why they had to repeal that section. They're hypocrites, right? So read their paperwork. Because their paperwork says, unless you have lawful, it says excuse. And we don't have those. We've got some reasons for you. They're plentiful. So, of course, they're offering you a contract. This is a commercial contract. This is commerce. It's got nothing to do with justice. This is all commercial activity. That's not a law court. They don't practice law in there. They have nothing to do with the law. It's all an administrative process so they can fucking make hundreds of thousands of dollars every year. Now, years ago, probably 5 years ago, these administrative clerks impersonating judges are making $350,000 a year, and these prosecutors, pro se, they act in their own right. They're impersonating the fiction crown. They're impersonating the public. They're pro se, right? They have no first-hand knowledge of what's going on, but they're there. There's no way they could ever give, evidence in an actual legitimate judicial proceeding. So these pro se cutters, they got to be making, probably close to $250,000 a year. And they're alleging themselves to be the criminal justice system, but they are the criminals. See, this is why our people, we can't stand hypocrites. Like, there's this fucking hatred between our righteous people and these wicked, warped weeds. I mean, the hatred is real. Because there can never be a meeting of the minds between the righteous and the wicked. The righteous are the living, the wicked are the dead. Righteous men and women don't do business or enter into any kind of fucking association with the wicked. We can't, because it causes us irreparable harm. So after being tortured on June the 12th for 12 hours, being subjected to a fucking conversation with, I'm being forced into a fucking lynching. It's a legal lynching, fucking lunatic language fucking proceeding. I mean, at one point I hear there's 2 males and a female involved in this, and at one point I hear one of the males refer to this other the female as your worship. Oh, fuck no. No. What the fuck are you talking about? Are you fucking completely sick in the head? We're an identifiable group of people that worship one and one only. The world refers to him as God. We refer to him as our Father. And we've got pronouns here. Can you see that at the top here? Pronouns. So if that's the right to self-determination, you've determined yourself to be a her. So if you have that right to self-determine, then every single man and woman, person, citizen, has the same rights. Right? This is the whole point of Jesus explaining that everybody stands on the same ground. It's all a level playing field. No one has any more rights than anyone else. So they need a contract. This is what they're trying to do. They're trying to enter this living woman into a contract with the dead. But there can't be a contract because there can be no meeting of the minds, because Canada is a corporation, province of British Columbia is a corporation, and I am a living woman who knows the truth and knows the law, inside, upside down, backwards, forwards. Like, we follow those 10 commandments to the letter. That's what the living do. This is what the hatred is all about, and the persecution, and the constant fucking need to violently assault this woman. So here you go. In order for you to be released, we need you to contract with us that you're going to do something you can't do, because Section 21 of the Criminal Code says that if you aid and abet at all, in any way, shape, fashion, or form, either do or don't do something, then you're guilty too. You're part of the problem. They're trying to force this woman to become just like they are. They want this woman to curse herself by not following the living law. Sorry, no fucking way. So my right hand last week was fucking numb by the time this contract was pushed in front of me. can barely fucking move that pen. But I'm the woman who put what is in the red box down here on the left. It says VC Vicoactus because I'm under duress, right? I've just been threatened by not one, not two, but three. Three of them have fucking threatened me for 45 minutes. Tortured, threatened, tried coercive control. And then after VC, what you see is void. Because it's fraud on the court. So it's void from the beginning. Like, you can't move this forward. Because this righteous woman cannot allow you to do that. You are criminals. And you are pretending to be the criminal justice system. So you're hypocrites. We don't do business with you. And we know that you just are, at this point, you're just all completely fucking lawless. You should have fucking heard this gatekeeper, this fucking Gordon, the fucking gatekeeper, brainless beast Baines, who's representing members who are employed by the District of Saanich, and this other fucking beast who's in possession of property obtained by crime, making passive income with a fraudulent mortgage. That's who this prosecutor is representing. Although it's quite clear on their fucking political puke propaganda fucking government websites and all their information they provide to you that they're not supposed to be representing the victim or the police. Like, do they not fucking know what they're doing? Like, do they not read their own shit? Isn't there professional conduct that you pukes have to follow? That's why you had to withdraw the charges, right? Well, fuck, isn't it? Well, here's some why you have to withdraw you have to withdraw the allegations. You have to by your own fucking code. Yeah, this cabal of criminals it's calling itself the BC Law Society. Right, it's a private membership association. They have a code. So here's why this woman can't be a part of this. Well, you're ignorant of the law. You're committing perjury. You have fabricated evidence. This is an immoral theatrical performance. It's public incitement of hatred. It's fucking fraud. You're trying to force this woman to take the theatrical role of the accused. No thanks. No thank you. We won't be helping you with that. Go fuck yourselves. Like, you're so fucking sick you don't even well, this is what happens, right, when you're a beast. So these were taken just like within the last hour. I mean, the pictures don't even do the damage justice, but this is now 8 days later. 8 days later. Right hand, right wrist. It's the left hand. There is the left leg. That fucking bruise is just aching. There is the right leg. All fucking bruised up. It's underneath my chin. Still fucking black and blue. Well, we're now turned to green, right? This is what happens when you've been fucking, well, it's assault and battery. It's assault and fucking battery. There it is again. That's what they're doing. It's hate. It's a hate crime. Like, there's no way to get around it being a hate crime. And what we learned from yesterday, which has left me completely fucking exhausted, is that these services are all secular, right? Secular services, which what means is you're just going to fucking go around in a loop, in a circle, and never get anywhere because the system isn't set up. It's not designed for living people. It's designed for fucking brainless beasts. It was designed by brainless beasts to benefit brainless beasts, and of course our people wouldn't benefit from any of it. And this is why now everything has to be Well, there has to be testimony provided, because what they're doing is, and what they have to do is, they have to provide culturally informed and culturally sensitive public services. And they won't, they don't include our people in any of their services. So that's discrimination. Full on fucking discrimination. They just don't care. So let's see here. So here's what you need to know. Now, the BARF, right? This BARF association, it doesn't matter where this member is. They're all a part of that association. There is only one bar. So whether it's India or Africa or America or Canada, all corporations. So this is why it doesn't matter where these decisions come from. They apply everywhere as a whole. So that's why it's been decided that for a crime to exist, there must be an injured party. There can be no sanction or penalty imposed upon one because of this exercise of constitutional rights. Assistance of counsel case law. This gets even better. The practice of law is an occupation of common right. That's right. That's Sims versus Anherns from 1925. And then again, so you need 2 or 3 witnesses of the truth to establish the truth. If you have 3 times a decision that's been made, then that becomes like a law maxim. And a law maxim, like, that's a foundation. Like, you can't get around it. They have to fucking rule by a law maxim, and they can't go outside of a law maxim. You don't even need this fucking constitution. It's fucking toilet paper anyway. You know why? Because in that constitution, it's a con. You are referred to as an individual, and an individual is a corporation. So they only do business with the dead, because it's a house of the dead. So they can only interact with its own kind. That's why you are a person or an individual or the accused or fucking the defendant or whatever the fuck kind of theater title that they've created for you. But if you're a living man and woman, then there's just fucking no way that you can be a part of any of that, because then you're part of the problem. You're cursing yourself. Two choices. You choose life or you choose death. Ignorance of the law is no excuse. Remember that always. So the practice of law cannot be licensed by any state. Litigants can be assisted by unlicensed laymen during judicial proceedings. Members of the group who are competent non-lawyers can assist other members of the group achieve the goals of the group in court without being charged with unauthorized practice of law. There can be no sanction or penalty imposed upon one because of their exercise of constitutional rights. How many fucking times have I heard in that whorehouse? Well, they want you to fucking talk to one of their BARF member buddies. These are brainless busybodies. Now, it says in the living law not to turn to a medium, not to turn to a spiritist. Now, it's been brought to this woman's attention what that actually really means. I mean, you can't go and fucking run to one of these fucking liars and have them represent you. You have to prove to be capable of handling your own affairs. Otherwise, they fucking determine you to be an infant and a ward of the court and an infantile and basically just, well, you're like a fucktard to them. They take over your entire fucking life and everything you've ever loved and owned, and they just steal it all and, leave you for dead. Now, armed with that information, because we understand that now, right? Now, here's what happened yesterday afternoon. This is what went out yesterday. So this is the woman that's speaking, explaining. Attached is a canceled warrant for arrest. Lawful reasons: violations of common law to protect life and property, violations of the rule of law, the law of consent. Well, that's the supreme law of Canada, right? Contract makes the law. I mean, that's the highest law. That's like trust law. That's what the 10 Commandments are. It's a trust. That's the highest law. Now you consent to follow those 10 Commandments, and you become beneficiary. You become, a beneficial owner of the kingdom of heaven. That's exactly what that whole gospel of the kingdom of heaven is actually about. That's how we're trained, right? We're trained to save souls. This wicked world, it actually fucking, operates the same way. Just on an inverted level. You know what I mean? Like it's fucking twisted. Well, then you've got charter breaches, you've got section 1, 2, A through D, 7, 8, 9, and 12. Like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, how many fucking times does this woman need to tell you no? They're violating the international conventions on the elimination of all forms of discrimination against women, elimination of all forms of racial discrimination, the Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, the Covenant on Economic, Social, and Cultural Rights. Apparently, allegedly, there's supposed to be provincial government agent mandate it's a promise, right, of protection from elder abuse and neglect. And then we just went over why you don't need to go fucking hire a BARF member or to even speak to one of these fucks. You're going to be harming yourself if you do. Listen, man, they have no obligation to tell you the truth at all. They're trained to lie to you. It's their fucking system. It's a secular system that's fucking sick. So yesterday, I contacted the appropriate parties, and this is what happened. June the 18th, after I had been explaining why, no, actually, the truth is Victoria has attended this matter. Victoria has attended this matter repeatedly through paperwork, because their entire fucking world is paper. It's a one-dimensional world. There's no life to it. It's all about the fucking paperwork. I've got a call uploaded to YouTube where I'm talking to one of these gatekeeper fucking government agents who fucking makes it crystal clear. Well, just follow the paperwork. Verbalized that. We just follow the paperwork. Oh, great. That's fucking awesome. Because I tell you what happened to me. What's happening is that it's been proven to me, again recently, of how highly empathic and sensitive I actually am. And our people are all wired the same way. So after Donna Fraser fucking steals Jack's estate and my estate, even despite the fact it's been spoken to for months that you can't do that. We've set off the claim. We have the right to do that. You can't fucking breach that space and touch anything. You can't fucking auction it off for your own fucking financial benefit. Jack and I have not named you as beneficial owners of anything in that space. That fucking cunt just does it anyway. Because a destroyer is going to be a destroyer. They don't care about the law. They don't care about your rights. They don't care about how what they're doing fucking destroys your life. So I have a nightmare on fucking May the 8th about being fucking robbed. June the 18th, all of a sudden, I'm fucking literally, I snap out of sleep. It's about 9:30 in the morning. So, the games begin at 9 a.m., down there at the whorehouse. The gaming begins at 9 a.m. The racketeering begins at 9 a.m. So 9:30. not only did I fucking snap out of awake, but I'm like instantly sick to my stomach because I can feel spiritually what they're doing. It's like Jesus, it's written down that Jesus knew their thoughts. That is no joke. That's us. An identifiable group of people. So sure as shit, look at this. Here we got a warrant for arrest. And this was obtained by a female named, because this fucking piece of paper didn't create itself. We've got Paula Donachie, who is impersonating the crown. It's an agent for the crown. No first-hand knowledge of what's going on. Doesn't fucking care what's going on. Has just now committed a hate crime. It's premeditated, an assault and battery, and unlawful confinement, and fucking torture, and violations of common law, and law maxims. So this is at noon. This has been filed with the clerk of the court. So this warrant's canceled. June the 19th, 2025, and this is, there's the woman who does have the right to self-identify, is exactly who she is. And this woman's a foreign diplomat. And we see who's contacted here. It's Inspector Damien K., who is supposed to be making sure that its friends there aren't, there's conduct that they have to follow, professional conduct that they're bound to follow, and they're not following any of it. And the reasons why it's canceled is because of charter breaches and no jurisdiction. What's difficult to understand about that? And so that then was forwarded to the appropriate parties yesterday afternoon. And the charges have to be withdrawn. Like, you can't even fucking imagine how sick the whole thing is. Well, here's some information here. They cannot afford to violate the ecclesiastical canon laws out of fear of ending their careers. So they are again trapped with no place to run or hide. They can dismiss the case before they even take the risk of exposing their fraud, which again makes no sense because then their careers again come to a halt. They don't want anyone to know what they're doing. They're vagrants involved in gaming and racketeering. Everything they do is a fraud. They can't fucking move that court unless they have first-hand knowledge of what's going on. Unless they've been victimized and been caused loss, harm, or injury. You see how fucking sick this whole thing is? You see how there is no criminal justice system? Well, let's take a look here. So, unfortunately, I have dealt with two of, there was a female and a male I've dealt with at this private for-profit corporation. Yep. Now let's take a look at what the problem is with what they're doing. So what they're doing is they're acquitting the guilty. These persons, on the regular, because one of the females and one of the males of this private for-profit corporation, during the conversations that were forced upon this woman, they lied. They lied thinking and believing, assuming and presuming that the woman they were speaking to didn't know. Oh, she knows. She knows exactly what the fuck is going on here. But you go right ahead and you lie. There's going to be a trial? Are you for fucking real? You have to deal with this? This is not a commercial, it's not a contract? They're playing a fucking game. What the fuck are they doing? One of them takes man from being convicted of manslaughter to having the conviction set aside and a mistrial ordered. So is the accused actually guilty? You can't fucking do that. So they're using witchcraft to acquit the guilty. And what about the victim then? That means the victim then has been, well, this is irreparable harm. Because if you're the victim of a crime and you can't get justice, that means you are irreparably harmed and you're never whole. So one of them, one of their clients is given suspended sentence for drug trafficking. Again, what the fuck are you doing? Somebody's client is found not guilty on all charges. Well, is the client guilty? What the fuck is going on down here? Is this the fucking Twilight Zone? You see, do you understand that the wicked do not understand anything? The wicked do not care about justice for victims of crime. They don't care. Oh, so one of these males that I was forced into a conversation last Thursday, let's see here. Successfully run self-defense case. Client found not guilty. Really? So is the client guilty? So what are you doing? Like, seriously, what the fuck are you doing? You can't do this. You can't have this. That's not justice. That's not a justice system. That's an injustice system. And they don't care. They do not fucking care that they are the cause of global warming. Every time the guilty is acquitted, that fucking heats this bitch up. We're the men and women who understand justice. Justice is a scale, and the scale is balanced. On one side of the scale, you have the law, which is eye for eye, tooth for tooth, fracture for fracture, stroke for stroke. What you steal, you restore, plus 20%. You commit a capital crime, and there are capital crimes. I've pointed them out. Crimes that you need to be eradicated. Like, you can't be here. You're fucking toxic. Like, you're toxic waste. Like, you cannot be here if this is how you choose to live your life, and these are the choices that you make. That's one side of that scale. And on the other side of that scale, you know what's there? Passion. Passion for the truth. Passion for the living law. What y'all believe that burning bush actually is. Remember Moses went up and the lawgiver wrote down the living law for all so they could read it? Because some of these fucking monkeys learn better by reading. Some learn better by visuals. Some you can just fucking talk to them and they learn. The living law is written down. And who spoke? What was there? It was a burning bush. I don't know how old you are, but I'm sure you may have heard you got a woman's body part being referred to as a bush, right? Passion, burning, right? You get that? Heat. That's what's on those scales. It's a balanced scale. It's the victim of the crime, or a family member of the victim of the crime, who is responsible for making sure the criminal is held to account. Because there's a passion and a drive for justice when you or your family members have been harmed. Now, I would be specifically aware of that because I have had numerous family members harmed irreparably. My Nana, one sec, need to compose myself. Juliet Bombardier, victim of negligent homicide in December of 2008. My son, victim of forced adoption, which is genocide. My spouse, his legacy and his dignity completely destroyed by an act of fraud on the court, vexatious litigants filing fucking lies into that whorehouse so they can steal everything from us. And there is a passion that arises, a burning, like nuclear type of force that occurs in a righteous man or a righteous woman. And of course it's written that our Father is angry with the wicked every day. And only we would know that because we're his sons and his daughters. Yeah, he has sons and he has daughters. Well, at this point in my time here, I know exactly who I am. And I know exactly why I'm hated. Which is why they can't break us. But they will work overtime to break us. And to defile and to demean and to humiliate. Sorry. I do not want to make this hard to listen to. Oh, and here's the worst. That a client is found not guilty of SA charges. That's fucking unforgivable. Unforgivable behavior. And I spoke to this individual last Thursday. He was acting as defense counsel. You should be ashamed of yourself. But you wouldn't have the ability to even feel shame or regret or remorse. Because what you did to whoever had been assaulted was you did the same thing. You caused that level of harm. And I've experienced that kind of violence. And what it does to you. Every part of your being. Yeah. That's a capital punishment crime. The sentence is it's removal. You have to be removed like garbage. You're trash. You take the trash out. Oh, look at this. It's gone right ahead and it wins abusive process. Okay, well, you and your friend there, you are guilty of aiding and abetting an abusive process because what's happened is these fucking legal lynching fucking lunatics have used your sick, sadistic, secular system to come against this woman because she speaks the truth, she knows the truth, and she has to provide testimony to the truth because there has been harm caused. And so it's a non-negotiable duty to report. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about reporting. Oh, and here's another one. Acquitted of 5 armed robberies. Search rule unlawful. Do you see the problem with any of this? You have to be able to see this. We don't know how to be more down to earth and more clear. Because here's the paradox of we, the peculiar people. And we don't really fucking care at some point in our lives about how this sounds, but it's truth that we're not from here. We were sent from above. But we are the most down-to-earth men and women you will ever have the pleasure of sharing time with. We don't talk crazy talk to you. We're talking like the truth. And yet we are accused of being crazy. Isn't that awful? Let's see here. What were we looking for? Well, the services that they provide are secular. That's who created the services. Are, like the snakes, the circular thinkers. And so that's why that doesn't include our people, because those services are profane. They're earthly, they're worldly, right? They're not. Well, a human is legally defined as a monster. It's base. Base means, wicked and evil. It's heartless. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no fucking heart in the criminal justice system because they only, it's the dead. It's the dead who make up the criminal justice system. They don't fucking even know how to feel an emotion. It's unholy. See right here? Gross, vile, ungodly, bestial, well, fucking rights, brutish, sordid, animal, right, exactly, secular services. That's why our men and women can't be a part of it, because it causes us irreparable fucking harm. Okay, let's talk about the cussing. We righteous men and women are created and sent here to cuss out the wicked. We cuss out the cursed. The cussing is a pain reliever for us. We don't trust anybody who's not cussing, because that means they're not paying attention. Because if you are paying attention, you would be fucking unglued. Like, you would be just outraged pretty much 24/7. Okay, so let's take a look at what's happening here. Incorporation doctrine means for police power today. What is all about this today? Okay, well, it's a bunch of it's like martial law, right? Like it's war. The wicked are now at war with their neighbors because they worship money and not life and not truth. So they're after something that has no value, and it destroys people's lives. So enforcement, right? It's code-based, not conscious-based. You know what I'm saying? Like, so when the dog that needs to return to its own vomit, Nick Murray, who's here yesterday morning, that thing it has no conscience. Like, it's got a seared conscience. There's no fucking way that beast is going to be able to act like a man. It's a male monster. Okay, so let's talk about this right here, because this is really important. An individual is a legally presumed U.S. or Canadian citizen, not a sovereign. So when you go through the Constitution of Canada and you get to Section 15 and it says every individual, so the fucking legal lynching lunatics now see their neighbors as a thing, not living. So these policy enforcers, those are commercial statutes. It's not law. This is all commerce. This is all about fucking money. They operate under corporate charters. So why this matters when you're arrested? Well, this has happened to me constantly for reporting crime. So when one of these beasts arrests you, they presume that you're a person. And, well, you know, and you basically don't have any rights. They act under the color of law using commercial instruments, citations, bonds, charges. See, so there's 3 charges, and those 3 charges are generating, for these corrupt, cursed creatures, profit. It's gaming. It's racketeering. It's their court. The court of the dead. They are indemnifying and bonding you as the financial surety. What's your surname? You end up acting as surety. They never read you the Constitution. They cite municipal code, traffic violations, policy infractions. Well, they'd be citing statute. So the Criminal Code of Canada is not law. It's statute. It's acting as law. It's not law. Which is why I keep fucking hearing when I report that my family and I have been robbed, fucking violently, viciously robbed and stolen from, that it's a civil matter. The twist loop. So these beasts now exist to enforce statutes. That's a commercial contract. And yet this male last week is trying to convince this woman that she's not being offered a contract. Oh yeah, I was there. I'm the one who had to endure the conversations. Right? I speak the truth and fuck the boot right away, right? Gaslighting. Lied to. Oh no, that's not what's happening. Okay, well, we're certainly not going to argue with you. We know you're a fucking liar. That's how you make your living. You make your living lying and causing fucking havoc in the community. So you're fucking bearing... Well, here's what's funny about last week's conversation. The female claims that I can't speak because I might incriminate myself. Well, out of the 4 of us, I was the only woman who didn't incriminate themselves. The fucking 3 of you all incriminated yourselves. Each and every one of you did, and now you're fucking aiding and abetting more mortgage fraud. You're aiding and abetting land title fraud. You're aiding and abetting, conspiracy, deprivation of rights under the color of law. You're aiding and abetting trespassing on my family's land and in our home. See, they're generating revenue. Court fines, $500 if you don't fucking come. Well, we are attending the matter. We're attending the matter every time we do an upload and post it publicly. You're fucking public servants, and now we know from the gatekeeper Gordon, the brainless beast Baines, that you're obsessed with listening. You're fucking obsessed with listening. Well, that's fucking awesome. Are you learning anything? Because we're the teachers here. Yeah, that's how we're trained. We're trained to teach. Protect corporate interests. Oh, okay. So it's got nothing to do with you and your health, welfare, or your safety. And your rights, inalienable rights, are just completely fucking ignored. Unless you invoke and defend in private standing. The conversion. No, what's this about? It's a conversion? Listen, yeah, see, they're impersonating peace officers. They're not peace officers at all. They're actually armed agents of a bankrupt municipal corporation. So what you've got here is a detective sandwich. It's a corporation. Is bankrupt. And that's why they are fucking stealing my family's land. They're involved in it. And that's why they're protecting the criminals who are in possession of property obtained by a crime. I see I've gotten in the middle of their fucking ugliness. And so now they have to attack the woman who's trying to stop them. They operate under admiralty principles. Your rights are converted to privileges, like a driver's license, a social insurance number, an all-caps contract. Your silence is consent. Your signature surety. So we don't have signatures. We have autographs, and we're not surety. And we don't remain silent. That would be aiding and abetting. Oh, is there a remedy? Really? Well, let's get to that. To truly resist unlawful arrest or enforcement, rebut jurisdiction with standing declarations. Declare your status. Well, you're not declaring anything. You express your standing. You express your status. That's what Jesus did the entire time the man was here. Once he got lit on fire, and that's what happened when John the Baptist, they had that interaction in the water. I've experienced that, so I know exactly what that feels like. Yeah. We're them. Hi. We're here. We're watching. Yeah, he's making a list and checking it twice. He's gonna find out who's naughty or nice. Like, who do you think our Father is? It's fucking all on the record. Everything's on the record. You don't declare, you express, right? Jesus kept expressing, I'm a foreign ambassador. We're not subject to taxation. We're not subject to the fucking jurisdiction of the Joker. The fucking jerk-off Joker. We're not subject to that jurisdiction. Like, the fucking dead don't have jurisdiction over the living. That's fucking insane. That's what's fucking mentally ill. That's conversion. Oh, there's notes. There's forms to fill out. Oh, the fucking filthy fucktard flock has forms. Well, good for them. To notify fiduciary roles. Okay. Hold officers accountable under equity and commercial liability. Oh, okay. Well, that'll get you attacked by SWAT teams for sure. Enforce rights as beneficiary, not subject. Well, that's what we've tried to do consistently and repeatedly, and look, there's nothing left. The fucking the whores have come and stolen everything because I've got an agreement here. Final verdict. The incorporation doctrine was not about liberating the people. It's about federalizing control, corporatizing the state, and weaponizing these fucking they're fucking poisonous pigs under the color of law. They don't serve people. They don't serve the living. They serve the fiction. How well do you know the book of Revelation? So who goes to hell and why did they go there? Those who love a lie and who practice a lie. Who's that? Well, we just went through it. That's exactly that's what we're here to do. We're here to point it out. That's what all the hate is about. Yes. Notice of lawful standing and objection to commercial enforcement under color of law. So that's why what has happened, because that provides an opportunity for edifying lessons. Because there'd be nothing to teach unless there's a lesson to learn. Well, bless you if you'd stayed this long and listened. Bless you if you're watching what's going on. Bless you if you have ever been in our presence and been kind to us and show us respect. because it's the few and the far between that will treat us this way. And we are a people that deserve the utmost respect, because unless you're one of these people, you don't understand what it's like to be in a place that doesn't want you here and doesn't welcome you here and won't make you feel comfortable. This is exactly why Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed. They were incapable of hosting. An angel is a messenger. Don't think that it's some sort of weird fucking, we look like everyone else, and yet we're not like everyone else. Right? See? It's a contract. They're offering a contract. That's why they need a signature. Yes.